Speaking of debt, speaking of spending, presidential candidate, former Pennsylvania Senator Rick Santorum filing to officially get on New Hampshire's ballot today. My next guest says his tax plan is getting overlooked.
We need a tax code. I propose a 20% flat tax, 20% on corporations, 20% on individuals, full expensing, which will be powerful for manufacturing, a 0% rate initially for manufacturers. We're going to have a very powerful tax code. We're going to do something about regulation. We're going to suspend every single Obama regulation that cost over $100,000 to the economy. But we have to start doing something about training and employing people who are sitting on the sidelines because they don't see a path. And we have a bureaucracy in Washington, a president in Washington, and even among Republicans who think everybody has to go to college.
That was Rick Santorum, of course. One of his many fans is with me now, and backers, I should say, as well. Foster Freeze, thank you so much, sir, for joining me. So I know you're a big believer in Santorum's tax plan. We just heard it there. 20% flat tax, personal and corporate. Even if it's a good idea, is this possible?
Well, I think the interesting thing, Deirdre, is that the tax plan got accolades from Steve Moore, Steve Forbes, Grover Norquist, and Art Laffer. Now, these are the giants in American tax policy. They not only endorsed it, they actually praised it. And I don't know what they said about the other plans, but I think it's interesting that no one has really highlighted the features of Rick's plan and all the other points that he's made. He seems to be like in a demolition derby with his car speeding around the outside while the rest are smashing each other. So hopefully that'll give him some firepower once the air clears a little bit.
Okay, so Foster, you're clearly a believer, but why is this plan even healthy for small businesses?
Well, number one, a small business, if you buy a typewriter or a bunch of pencils or anything actually that has depreciation, pencils don't, but if something's depreciated, you can depreciate the first year. That's a huge opportunity for people to invest in a lot of different equipment and not have to worry about the complication of depreciation schedules, and it obviously reduces the taxes that first year. That's very, very powerful for small businesses.
What was your number one takeaway, Foster, since we have you, from the big debate on Tuesday night?
Well, I think the takeaway was that in the undercard, Christie seemed to make a move. He probably made more progress on the undercard than he was on the main stage. And I'm hopeful that can happen for Rick Santorum too, is once people get a better idea of the various candidates' positions. But what was a little bit distressing, frankly, is while there's more substance than other ones, there still hasn't been the opportunity to express people's point of views. Like Rand Paul is getting applause from black audiences for his justice reform ideas, and that hasn't come to light because it seems like they spend too much time talking about each other rather than how they want to make the country better. And I think the more they can get that message out, the better we're all going to be.
You want details? You are right, sir. In the meantime, thank you for your time. Foster Freeze joining me there.